The Daily Star, September 16th. This is from Oneonta, upstate New York. New Yorkers drive more despite climate plan goals. When the COVID-19 pandemic introduced social distancing to Americans' vocabulary, many people took it as a cue to ditch public transit in favor of personal cars. How else were they going to get anywhere? I'm just going to read what I have highlighted here. You guys can read the rest of the article. New York's distancing guidelines are now far in the rearview mirror, but traffic on the road has not subsided. So if all these social distancing guidelines are in the rearview mirror, why is everybody always still so freaked out about COVID? I think we're good. Including New York City, Buffalo, Rochester, Albany, Syracuse, and Poughkeepsie. So these are the cities that are now plagued with people driving their own personal cars. It's a huge problem. The new data comes as New York's climate plan prescribes a sharp decrease in overall driving in order to meet legally binding emissions targets. What are those and what does that mean? The state's 2022 climate plan aims to cut those emissions by nearly a third over this decade by moving towards electric vehicles, but also through historic investments to reduce dependence on cars. What is a historic investment? Investment in what? What are they talking about? Or I'll do the whole article real quick so you can read the whole thing. I'm only going to read the pink parts. We're moving slower than we've probably moved since the introduction of the horse as a form of transportation. I think New York State as a whole is moving like a glacier. As a whole. For years, New York's economy was growing on the backs of the public transit system. Well, I don't know what anybody thought was going to happen when we did this whole social distancing thing. How were people going to get anywhere? Are they going to take people's cars away? Is that what they're talking about? What are all these fees? What are all these charges? What are all these plans, these agendas? Now what? Now what? We already can't afford to live here in New York. Is this just New York City? Or is this New York State as a whole? What are they talking about? If we're starting to see trends like this, it means that we're moving away from the sustainable growth model and have reverted back to a model that's over-reliant on cars. A bill pending in the state legislature would require New York to reduce vehicle miles traveled by 1/5 by 2050. The Clean Energy Group, RMI, found that the measure could cut emissions by close to 9 million tons per year. Are we going to start hearing about the cows again and their emissions? A scorecard from the global traffic data firm INRIX ranked the city dead last among its international peers in congestion delays. What does New York City have to do with other cities around the planet? We live in different places. We all have to go different places in different ways. We're not all the same. Why is this a thing? Congestion pricing, she vowed, would change that. What are they going to get charged for now? And again, is this all of New York State? Less noise, less honking, less gridlock, she said. How about less air pollution, lower carbon emissions, slower speeds, fewer crashes? I don't mind losing all that. Well, I don't think that's how it's going to work. You're going to move all these people from their cars and put them back on public transit. And then all the crimes that happen there are just going to happen there. You're not ever going to end any of this. These are just excuses. What is this money? Nobody has any more money.